The Pentagon has committed to bi-weekly releases of declassified UAP files through WAR.GOV/UFO. The site has already exceeded 1 billion page views. That is not a curiosity metric. That is a capital attention metric. Here is the core thesis of this video. When a government releases scheduled disclosures about programs that involve the largest defense contractors in the world, those releases are market-moving events. They are predictable in timing, if not in content, and predictable events in finance are tradable. I want to be precise about what I'm describing. This is not a prediction that aliens exist. This is a recognition that the official U.S. government acknowledgement of UAP programs with named contractors, named technologies, and funded black budget line items creates a repeatable event calendar for defense and aerospace equities. By the end of this video, you will have a specific pre-drop playbook, a list of 5 tickers with direct exposure, position sizing guidelines, and an understanding of the risk structure on each trade. Let's build the calendar. The bi-weekly UAP file releases began following the Trump administration's January 2025 executive order directing the declassification of UAP-related materials. The WAR.GOV/UFO repository went live shortly after. The schedule operates roughly like this. Every 2 weeks, a new tranche of declassified files is added. Some are raw sensor data, radar tracks, satellite imagery, thermal signatures. Some are program summary documents, contract vehicles, research directives, and interagency coordination records. Occasionally, and this is the catalyst, a release will include contractor names, program designations, or technology descriptions that the market has never seen. Here's the behavioral pattern we've already observed in the first several releases. In the 48 hours before a known or expected drop, search volume for terms like UAP disclosure and UFO files spikes significantly. This increased attention drives incremental buying pressure on a specific basket of defense and aerospace equities. The tickers that move most consistently: Lockheed Martin, LMT, Northrop Grumman, NOC, Raytheon Technologies, RTX, Kratos Defense, KTOS, and Palantir, PLTR. I'll walk through each one. Lockheed Martin, LMT. Market cap, approximately $120 billion. Skunk Works Division is the confirmed integrator of classified aerospace programs going back to the 1950s. George Knapp's June 3 congressional testimony directly named a Lockheed contractor as involved in crash retrieval programs. What moves with a file drop? Anything that mentions aerospace propulsion research, sensor integration, or classified program contracts immediately increases LMT's implied optionality. Wall Street analysts cannot model the black budget revenue. Each release that confirms the scope of classified programs is a positive re-rating event. Pre-drop playbook: accumulate LMT in the 5 trading days before a scheduled release. Target position size: 2 to 3% of total portfolio. Exit in the 48 hours after the release, or hold if content is more significant than expected. Northrop Grumman, NOC. Market cap, approximately $65 billion. Northrop built the B-2 Spirit, a program that was classified for over a decade before acknowledgement. They hold the contract for the B-21 Raider. Their intelligence division runs signals collection programs whose existence was classified until recently.
Why NOC matters on UAP releases. Northrop's classified revenue base is arguably deeper than Lockheed's as a proportion of total revenue. Any file drop that mentions stealth technology, reconnaissance platforms, or advanced materials plays directly to NOC's capabilities. Pre-drop playbook. NOC is a slightly lower beta play than LMT. It moves less on UAP news but provides portfolio stability. Hold as a base position, not a trading vehicle. Raytheon Technologies, RTX. Market cap, approximately $155 billion. RTX makes sensors, specifically electro-optical sensors, radar arrays, infrared systems, and missile guidance. The entire infrastructure of UAP detection, what the Navy's task force was using when it captured the Tic Tac and Go Fast footage, runs on RTX hardware. What moves with a file drop? Any release that includes sensor data or describes detection methodologies is a direct RTX catalyst. The more the government publicly validates its UAP detection infrastructure, the more it validates RTX's entire sensor product line. Pre-drop playbook. RTX is the most defensible position in this basket. Even in a world where UAP disclosure never fully materializes, RTX's sensor business grows with every dollar the military spends on multi-domain awareness. This is a long-term hold with UAP as an asymmetric upside option. K-Ratos, Defense, KTOS. Market cap, approximately $4 billion. This is the asymmetric bet in the basket. Kratos builds unmanned aerial systems, drones, and autonomous platforms specifically designed for classified military programs. Their UTAP-22 Mako is a high-performance drone target system designed to simulate advanced adversary aircraft. Why KTOS matters. If any disclosed UAP technology gets weaponized or incorporated into unmanned platforms, Kratos is the most likely integrator given their existing classified program pipeline. A $4 billion market cap company with confirmed black program exposure is dramatically undervalued on a disclosure scenario. Pre-drop playbook. KTOS is a 1 to 2% position held as a disclosure lottery ticket. High volatility, size accordingly. Palantir, PLTR. Market cap, approximately $280 billion. Palantir is the data layer of the classified world. Their Gotham platform is used by intelligence agencies and the Department of Defense to integrate, analyze, and make decisions from classified data streams. Why PLTR matters on UAP releases. Every file released through WAR.GOV/UFO is a data integration problem. Who manages the classified analytic infrastructure? Palantir. Any expansion of UAP program transparency at the government level expands Palantir's addressable market in ways the company is not currently disclosing. Pre-drop playbook. PLTR is a longer duration hold. Buy on weakness after UAP news cycles. This is a 3 to 5% portfolio position for anyone with a 12-month time horizon on disclosure. The bi-weekly release schedule operates on roughly a 14-day cycle. Based on the confirmed release patterns so far, drops appear to cluster around the middle and end of each month. Here is how to execute the calendar trade. Days -7 to -5, 1 week before expected drop, begin building positions in LMT and KTOS. These two have shown the most consistent pre-drop price movement. Keep position sizes small, 1 to 2% each. You don't know the content of the release. You're trading the event premium, not the content.
Days -3 to -1, 3 days before. Monitor WAR.GOV/UFO for any advance notices or document preview teasers. Check Congressional UAP Caucus social media. Members occasionally signal upcoming releases. If pre-drop search volume for UAP spikes on Google Trends, that's a confirmation signal. Release day. Do not trade on the day of. Volatility is highest and spreads are widest. Observe the content first. Days +1 to +2. 48 hours after, this is the evaluation window. If the release is significant, contractor names, program descriptions, new technology references, hold or add to positions. If the release is routine, sensor logs, administrative correspondence, begin unwinding the trade premium. Days +3 to +7. Rebalance and reset for the next cycle. One important risk note. This trade works until it doesn't. If a release generates negative coverage, suggesting program mismanagement, cost overruns, or contractor misconduct, the same tickers can move sharply lower. Always have a stop-loss level in mind before entry. The next scheduled release is expected approximately mid-June. Given the context of the June 3rd congressional hearing, this drop carries more significance than average. Specifically, Luis Elizondo and George Knapp both testified about programs that are directly linked to current classified contracts. If the mid-June release includes any documentation corroborating their testimony, contractor names, program names, budget references, the market reaction will be disproportionate to any previous drop. What to watch for in the release content? 1. Any reference to unidentified aerial phenomena retrieval as a program category. 2. Any named contractor, particularly Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, or SAIC. 3. Any reference to materials analysis programs. This is the Bigelow-Lockheed connection Knapp described. 4. Any budget reference associated with a black program vehicle, SAPs, or special access programs. If any of these 4 elements appear in the mid-June release, the playbook shifts from a 48-hour trade to a 4 to 6 week hold. That is the scenario that reprices the entire sector. Current recommended pre-drop positioning for mid-June: LMT at 2.5%, KTOS at 1.5%, RTX at 3%, PLTR at 2.5%. That's 9.5% of portfolio in disclosure-adjacent names going into the drop. 3 scenarios where this trade fails. Scenario 1. The releases are anticlimactic. Every biweekly drop is routine sensor data. No contractor names, no program descriptions. The market stops paying attention to release dates. In this scenario, you lose the event premium you paid, typically 1 to 3% on LMT and KTOS, and return to holding your base positions. Not catastrophic. Scenario 2. A release is damaging to a contractor. Documentation emerges suggesting cost fraud, program mismanagement, or unauthorized disclosure by a contractor. This is the tail risk. The same tickers that move up on positive disclosure move sharply down on negative disclosure. Stop losses matter here. Set them at 7% below entry for KTOS and 4% below entry for LMT. Scenario 3. The broader market sells off. UAP disclosure is a narrative trade. It works in a risk-on environment and gets ignored in a risk-off environment. If the S&P 500 drops 10% in the next month for macro reasons, the disclosure trade premium disappears. Your defense positions might hold better than average, but they will still decline.
The hedge. RTX and NOC are the most macro-resilient names in the basket. In any of the 3 failure scenarios, they provide the best floor. Size them accordingly. Here is the one thing I want you to leave this video with. The Pentagon has created a scheduled, bi-weekly event calendar for UAP-related disclosures. Event-driven trading is one of the most reliable strategies in the hedge fund playbook. You now have the list of tickers, the timing methodology, and the risk framework to execute it. Before the mid-June drop, LMT, KTOS, RTX, PLTR. Scale to your comfort, set your stops, watch the content. The disclosure trade is not about believing in aliens. It's about recognizing that classified programs with real budgets, real contractors, and real government acknowledgement are being systematically made public on a fixed schedule. That is a trade calendar. Trade it. Full disclosure checklist and positioning guide in the description. Link to the free Gumroad resource below. Stay long the uncertainty. 0 to 115. Intro. WAR.GOV/UFO screenshot with 1B plus view counter. TAE logo reveal on dark background. Pentagon aerial exterior. Bi-weekly calendar graphic. June 2026 with marked release dates. 1:15 to 3 minutes. Release schedule. Trump Executive Order document. Declassification order, January 2025. WAR.GOV/UFO file repository screenshots. Document thumbnails. Google Trends graph UAP disclosure search volume spike.
Senate SASC hearing B-roll establishing shot. 3 to 5:30. 5 tickers. LMT. Skunkworks exterior. SR-71 archival. LMT stock chart. NOC. B-21 radar footage. NOC ticker. RTX. Radar array. F-35 sensor pod. RTX ticker. KTOS. UTAP-22 drone footage. KTOS ticker with $4 billion callout. PLTR. Palantir Gotham UI screenshot. Blurred generic. PLTR ticker. 5:30 to 7:30. Trade calendar. Animated 14-day cycle calendar graphic. Google Trends real-time screenshot. Congressional UAP caucus social media scroll. Pre-drop, release, evaluate animated flowchart. 7:30 to 9:30. Mid-June catalyst. June 3 hearing B-roll. Elizondo testimony, NAP testimony. Classified program checklist graphic, 4 items highlighted. SAP, Special Access Program explainer graphic. Portfolio allocation pie chart, 9.5% disclosure exposure visualization. 9:30 to 11:30. Risk framework. Red downward market chart, risk scenario visual. Stop loss level graphic, LMT at -4%, KTOS at -7%. S&P 500 correlation chart. RTX NOC defensive floor graphic. 11 to 11:45. Conclusion. TAE logo close-up. Gumroad QR code. Subscribe animation. Next video teaser card.